All right, this has been a pain in the butt. I've been working on this for hours. Let's see how this. All right, whatever. My language skills have been put to the test with the whatever. Let me see what I can do. I think I need to take out the grammatical mistakes here. I'm just tired of just. I've been doing this, working on this for hours. It's not working. So I'm redoing this by re-recording this. Okay, so let's see. Where were we? This is episode. Okay, let's just play this.
Hello, everyone. I would like to continue with more information on the Grand Reaper video, the initial that I made. So I will be doing small segment videos. Perhaps could be a little longer depending on what I'm doing. But this segment would be short. This would be episode 2. And I'm going to call it, what did I call it? Protection, self-protection and healing. Self-protection and healing. And again, this is mostly for source players, aka angels, starseeds, etc. The 144,000 in the universe. So I received 2 good comments slash questions, and I thought what would guide this episode 2 in self-protection and healing would be one of the comments. And so somebody wrote, I don't think the recent war is real in the sense that there are bombs being thrown. That's not what I wanted to read. Excuse me. But that is valid too. Actually, all right, it's a little off top. Well, somewhat. Yeah, I started reading it already, so I might as well finish it. And it's somewhat related. I don't think the recent war is real in the sense that there are bombs being thrown and such, but I note that not all wars are the same. You know what? Okay, you could definitely connect this to the self-healing and self-protection. So I'll repeat that. I don't know. I don't think it says I don't think the recent war is real in the sense that there are bombs being thrown and such, but I know that not all wars are the same. There was a real war, parentheses, it was a genocide, actually, not a war, that I went through, which killed many people and totally ruined the country beyond repair. People have no hope or future anymore. I don't know why these people are not scared of karma. How can they keep doing this if they know they will be punished? I'm actually glad I read the first one. I was going to the first comment. I was just going to focus on the second comment. But so the question is, all these people, are the elites, are the extraterrestrials, are people in general, beings in general, in whatever frequency they find themselves in, are they being held responsible? Don't you think people usually are getting away with murder? I mean, if you think about it, this is just my take on this. There's a reason why in our physical world here in the third dimension, Earth, you have to, if you can't touch it, prove it. If you can't touch it, see it, prove it. You can only, if you go to court, you can only, if it's not physical or tangible, then you pretty much can't use it as evidence. So basically, there's a whole other way, another layer of murder and killing that goes on, slaughtering, genocide that goes on in this world that is totally permissible because you can't prove it directly. This is spiritual war. This is spiritual war. So through the use of spiritual war, lives can be destroyed. It's actually far worse than physical war, I think, in a way of, if you think about it, you could just kill anyone. and you could just put an entity in anyone's body and get away with it. Do you understand? Somebody once said, I heard, when you put an entity in someone's body, that's like putting a gun to that person's head at point blank and shooting it. If the person dies right away, then at least the person has some relief. But that entity is in that person's body year in, year out. That person is going to be fucked up. And that's fucked up what you do. If you do something like that. So when you, all these binding spells that people throw, love binding spells that people throw at you to get you to do something, that's their freaking energy. Okay, they created. When you create something, you're responsible for it. Okay, you're responsible for it. Okay, so if somebody gives it back to you, you can't freaking complain about it. It's yours. Okay, actually, it's not even giving it back to you. We're saying we don't want it, and it takes. So when you have an entity in your body, and we all have things in our body, you know, at this point, you can't convince me that everybody doesn't. Must be very few people in this realm who don't have anything in their body, if there are any few of those people. So this is serious. So who is actually holding these people in general, extraterrestrials trying to wipe out races, the collective? Who is holding them responsible? So when these wars, so the comment is completely valid. There is evidence from, just thinking about it from personal experience, not directly my direct personal experience, but examples that I can tap into. Not at least anything in this current realm, but yeah. So wars are staged, and bombs are sometimes. It's all on purpose, basically. It's staged, but it's all on purpose. Whether 15 people die or 30,000 people die, it's quite serious. In the podcast, Jose and I speak about this, and I mean, everything this guy has said about, he tapped into timelines, and he tapped into my time. I mean, I didn't even really care at the time. I didn't even know at the time what I was going to be doing, but he was so dead on. He even went into what I would be doing after this lifetime, and I'm like, "Are you sure?" Particularly when he talked about coming back and guiding source players. You couldn't get me to freaking come back to this realm, or any realm for that matter. Because there's such a lack of love, not only in our realm, but in the entire universe. The universe is nothing but a disc-like, like a circle-like thing in the middle of infinite space, and around this circle is a wall, not a wall. We're basically quarantined. Source has quarantined the universe because the universe is dark. There are a lot of what is source? What is God? This thing people keep talking about, God, source. What is source? And a lot of us, the collective, the angel. Yes, I'm here. I don't want to leave. The collective, the angels, the screen was asking me, I'm recording, where I'm recording, use the word source. If you have your memories intact, or you will remember that source is literally outside the universe. Source is not just like some invisible thing. No, source is a collective. Source is the freaking collective. Do you understand? If you don't remember this, fine. Not all of us remember, but I have the memory exactly where I come from within source. Yeah, and I've seen evidence of this over and over again. Source is like a pillar of light, a huge collection. As soon as you exit the universe, you begin to ascend to different layers. all the way to the top where it seems there's nothing. You become as if like it's pure like invisibility, but you can sense and feel everyone's vibration. Pure heaven is source consciousness. And these are things we talk about, Jose and I and myself, and by myself, that is, in the podcast. The war in heaven we talked about a long time ago, before we, when I say we, source, because we are the collective, we are part of the source. Stop detaching yourself from source consciousness as like, because what is creation? Do you even know what creation is? Do you even remember what creation is? Does creation really exist the way we've been fooled to think it exists? God created us. That's just bullshit. But that's another topic. If you want to hear the details of what creation really is, then you pay more attention to people who are trying to share it. So moving on. But I will go a little bit into it and go back to the overall point of self-protection and healing for this episode 2. What is important is to protect yourself first before you become the Grand Reaper. If you have not protected yourself through the use of pork cutting techniques and or return to sender rituals, then please do so. Also, as a source player or an angel, also take away their gifts. If you have the power, as an angel, you have the power to not only return the negative energy to them, not only to bind it to them. Remember, they created it, they are responsible for it. Love is not weak, stupid, or blind. Love is the ultimate power. And the brighter you are, the more power you're given. Not even given, the more power you have just automatically. That's how it works. So we'll go into details later about, plenty of episodes. Right now, what's important to me is trying to get source player to understand love at a deeper level so that they could protect and heal themselves. When you try to, okay, let's not divert too much. All right, so the last comment was, yes, it is very painful to see, no, she said. Sorry. How can they keep doing? Now there was another comment. I don't know. There's another comment about naturally, something occurring naturally that I liked. Okay, that's not what I want. All right, let's see. Okay. I'm not seeing the comment. All right, if I don't see the comment, I'll just explain it. So, what is this? All right, learning how to make vegan chocolate bars. All right, so let's start the presentation. And let me present what I have on the screen. Let's briefly go over the second comment, which I'm not seeing. Basically, the second comment says something to the effect of, should we let karma take place naturally? And I ask you, is karma taking place naturally? What is naturally? I don't know what that means. I think it's a great comment. So this is what I have to say in that regard. I wrote a couple of things that I'd like to share. So let's begin with, okay, self-healing. Okay, first of all, this is what I typed out, and it's not, I'm not going to be reading the whole entire, just to guide what I'm saying. The overall physical. So this overall physical. So self-healing has to do with the overall physical, emotional, and spiritual light protection, right? So I'll read what I have. Overall physical, emotional, and light i.e., spiritual health, overall physical, emotional, and light, i.e., spiritual health. This isn't just you, and it should include you, those who you love, who are not casting any dark spells. Dark magic. This should be your first task before taking on the world and the universe. So do not take a. The universe can be taken on. Can be taken on. Okay, so basically, what did I write? I wrote something here. Ah, yes. We are at war, ladies and gentlemen. We are at war. The collective. You must wake up. You must jog yourself out of the fog. As representative, because when you go to source, it's not like you're not like a separate, a completely set. When you water, you put a drop of water from another container into that main container. It's one huge container. So this idea of an outside savior, where's this God paying karma all the bad that people are doing to the populations? None of the races trying to wipe out extraterrestrials, trying to wipe out entire collective known as 144 just on this planet. What do you think is happening in other realms, in other frequencies, dimensions? What do you think is happening? They are working vigorously. And who is going to help? So I have a question. I have a question. I'll go back to this later. So here's a question. So before I ask the two questions, let me ask again what there were things happening naturally. How do the bad people get karma naturally? What naturally meaning like a million years from now, when people have gotten away with murder over and over again because of the cycle, because once you understand the cycle of life, which is repetition, in this lifetime you get hit with a truck and the AI has set up things the same way, so the next lifetime you get hit with the truck. Do you understand this? How this really works? Do you really understand? Do you really understand that love is not weak? Do you understand? Have you been to frequencies where darkness, people, whether it's darkness or people trapped in darkness, the suffering is so much that the Matrix is better. Like the fifth, let's say the underworld is better than some other black holes. Do you understand?
Okay. I think this is where the grammatical mistake came in, so let me move ahead a little bit.
Why am I still here? Why are you here? Because this is heaven? You really enjoy your heaven? Getting up and going to work every freaking day?
Okay, this is not... Okay, let's see.
And having empathy.
Alright, this is... Yeah.
Layer of me. It might have been my inner child. I saw gods of gods.
Alright, this is what I was talking about. My first ayahuasca experience, seeing gods of gods, seeing the super dragon peeing in his pants, not literally, but giving off the energy of. Basically, what I was saying is that if darkness is not helped, then darkness won't stop itself. It has gone too far. So basically, empathy means that we don't have to. love doesn't mean that we have to do something. Love means that we choose to come in to help whoever we are. Do you understand? So if we don't help, then nothing gets done and darkness continues on its path of endless, eternal suffering as it expands throughout the universe, throughout that which is beyond the disc-like universe. Basically, do you understand? The universe is merely a disc-like structure in the middle of infinite space. So basically, infinite space just gets larger and larger, while the disc-like structure gets larger and larger. Infinite suffering gets larger and larger within that space. So, let me reiterate, just in case I wasn't clear. Infinite suffering. So, darkness, the ash, which is created, the ash regenerates itself. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, but it takes a long time. And so, love means that you are doing darkness a favor by using pain, at least at this level, to bring it back sooner. At this level, the pain may seem to a lot of us like unbearable, but at other levels, it's just so excruciating. Layers of source. Gods of gods have said, holy shit. I don't care what they've done to me. That level of pain is too much. So therefore, love them anyway. Hence, the Triple Cross, people like me, beings like me are here because, goddamn,
I'm talking about the level of like the highest point of source consciousness. Volunteers just helping, like, for example, the super dragon. I saw the super dragon. The dragon. The Asian culture, like peeing in his pants. Like that was the feeling that he gave off, or he, she, it, whatever. Okay, because, but that the level of pain that the dragon must go through. So if we don't stop it now, Source has seen a point of time where the super dragon, I'm just shivering just thinking about it now. What super dragon is afraid of to come back to light, it's going to go through, is going to be like, holy shit. Whoo! Darkness is not going to stop itself. I mean, I'll give you an example. An entity was incinerated. A huge wave of entity was incinerated. I was sent to my room not too long. Well, I don't remember how long ago. Perhaps it was about 2 months ago, when I've been trying to heal and to remove the remaining entity in my body. And it's been very difficult. It's been very painful. Every day is very painful. Sometimes I can't go to work. But I am healing enough to start doing these episodes on the Grand Reaper. Uh, I'll give you a clue. Okay, if you're paying attention, you might understand a bit of how creation works. The entity was incinerated and turned into ashes. And I had to clean it up the next morning. Do you understand? Can you begin to understand how creation really works? Energy can never be created or destroyed, only altered. Energy can be sped up by beings that are more higher conscious. You want to call that creation, fine, but you can't destroy the ash. The ash will come back again. How long does that take? It takes a long time if the ash were to come back again by itself. So that's a clue. So to speed up the process, we're trying to minimize the pain. If you come from source consciousness, stop dividing yourself from the grand light outside the universe in the absence of the entire source being here. How are wrongs? How are wrongs given amends or amended? That was what a friend said. Jose said. And I was like, what? At the time, I was about to go through my first heart attack. My first, or did I? No, it was after my first heart attack. Basically my, yeah, an attempt of my third death to take me out. Source players, you are immortal if you choose to be. It's a choice. Okay? And the videos that I'll be making will be even more daring as a white magician. The time to be the Grand Reaper is here. Okay? Here's a question going back, or actually, here are. Am I presenting? Yes, I am. So I wanted to present. I've been talking the whole time. I guess this video is longer than the video is longer than I had anticipated. I guess I talked a bit sometimes. So let me present to you a window. So I have two questions on the screen about things happening naturally. So again, I spoke about things happening naturally. Okay, I can't even see myself on the screen. Let me just move this over. And I really appreciate the comment because it's guiding us. It's helping me at least to expand upon the Grand Reaper notion. Okay, so the minimalist. So the first question. So let me go back, recap a little bit. Things happening naturally. What does that mean? You slap me, I slap you. He slaps. Okay, you slap me, I slap you. And then this person slapped my grandmother. When does the vicious circle stop? So I posed two questions. The first question is or two scenarios. You see a child, an adult being bullied physically or verbally. What do you do? A, nothing because it doesn't concern me. They can work out their own problems. Yeah, sometimes that's true. Try to help because not every bullied person or abused person did something to deserve the incessant abuse. That could be true. Or C, let the two parties resolve their issues naturally over time. So what if it takes 1,000 years? It usually takes millions of years for people to resolve the problems. They just think that it's the first time they face a problem. So what if it takes 5 billion years? And the person who is suffering the most didn't start this in the first place? What if it were you, an angel who got caught up with a psychotic mother abusing you for millions and millions of years, siphoning your energy? What if it were you, collective? What if it were you caught that the only mistake you made was simply appreciating the beauty of women? You know, Yeah, so you made a mistake, and you see this beautiful woman, and you went after her, and she turned out to be a fucking psycho. What if it were you? And that you didn't go out, necessarily trying to cause wars. What if it were you? Would you want freaking help? So where is the rest of source within the universe? Do you see the rest of the huge column of light anywhere in the entire universe? No. You have the collective that was sent by source. Could the universe, for that matter, stand the entirety of that light here in the tiny universe? Or might the light be so bright that it would destroy? Or was there in this time before there were issues with war in heaven? You don't have, you gotta look bigger, people. Okay? So if it were you, what would you choose? I personally would choose to try to help, because not every bullied person or abused person did something to deserve the incessant abuse. Sometimes, yes, people have to solve the problems. It's not one glove fits all, but sometimes you have to help. And in this case, as an angel, aka source player, a star seed, you were sent here to do your freaking job. Do your job. Stop thinking small. Think big. You cannot make the universe brighter simply by letting things happen naturally. What does that mean? Somebody needs your help. The person is stuck. If you have the power, and as a source player, aka an angel, a star seed, you have the freaking power. The power was vested in you by source. Source has been waiting for you to wake the fudge up. Source has been waiting for you to understand that you have clear audio, that you have clear visual, that you can that you are a wing seer or not a wing seer. For me, I'm a wing seer, and I hear you. I mean, all these secret society people coming up against me. I hear you sometimes. Dude, guy, I've heard you when you said, "Oh, your name is not really the Triple Cross, it's Agbe Ben Ipao." I remember you calling me ignorant. I can hear your thoughts. Do you not understand what a wing seer is? Angels, star seeds, you have these powers. All you have to do is do the healing, do the core cutting as soon as possible. You don't know how to do it? Go on Google, okay? Look up a core. You know what? No, just go, core cutting rituals, and do the rituals as soon as possible. You need 2 candles, okay? Name on one name, a positive person, and someone who has caused harm on the other candle, and you write out